The truth is, I left the country because of my ex.
No one should believe anything she's saying. No one should take what she says at face value. She's a con artist, she is a liar. You should be very suspicious of any claim coming out of this woman's mouth.
So, it looks like Keffals has essentially nobody left. Even the Young Turks have turned on them, and Kasparian recently just dropped a video for the Young Turks entitled TYT Correction, Keffals is a fraud, where she admits her and the network were taken for fools and used as a tool to promote Keffals' fraudulent GoFundMe scam. You know you fucked up when even the Young Turks turn on you like this. Like, seriously, they aren't exactly the bastion for being ethical or being moral or being anything good, really. But who knows? Maybe they're just trying to jump on the virality of the shitting on Keffals train. They have been in the middle of some sort of rebrand recently, trying to appeal to more people on the right. So maybe this is just that. Then again, Anna has had some decent takes recently, like with the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation, so maybe she has something decent to say. Let's hear her out.
Back in 2022, TYT covered a story involving a transgender streamer named Clara Sorrenti, who goes by Keffals. Now, at the time, she had alleged that she had been violently swatted by anti-trans harassers on a platform called Kiwi Farms. Many elements to the story ended up being false, and we unwittingly helped her promote her fraudulent crowdfunding effort.
Interesting. So they're just admitting that they actually helped promote a GoFundMe that ended up scamming people out of thousands of dollars. Well, at least they're admitting they fucked up with that one. But I'm definitely not jumping on the forgiveness train for them. What's the phrase? Something like, a broken clock is right twice a day? Something like that. Look, I'm glad you're admitting to messing up, but you guys just have way too big of a history of doing just that, messing up. Keffals is a fraud. I agree with you, but you guys aren't much better in the grand scheme of things.
So just to review, the money she raised, according to the GoFundMe page, was meant to help her move immediately for her own safety after she had been swatted, recoup her losses of electronic devices that she said the cops had seized, that they'd taken from her, and also sue the London Police Service in Ontario, Canada, where the swatting happened, and to protect her rights, which she reiterated in a later stream. But she lied about the nature of the swatting itself, and we don't know what she did with the money, okay? Well, we have an idea of what she did with the money. Based on her own admission, she did not use the money that she crowdfunded for the intended purposes. She had claimed that she woke up with the Canadian police pointing a gun to her head. She said that's how the swatting incident went down. She later changed that story and said that the police were banging on her door and she had to put clothes on to answer the door as they were banging on it.
What I don't understand is that all the information about this was available at the time of the events. You know, like when you guys promoted it. I mean, call me an asshole, but aren't you guys a news organization? Do you not do any research into the things you promote? Or was it simply, oh, that looks like something that promotes our agenda, run it? Well, it looks like that hasn't been playing well for them, cause look at the sponsored segment they ran in this video.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you.
You know, I'm almost thinking that these sudden decent takes I've been seeing from Anna might have a lot more to do with this than one might realize. Looks like TYT wants some of that right-wing money. This place has had a pretty shady history when it comes to funding, and them running this sponsored segment in this particular video just screams, hey right-wingers, look, we aren't that bad of guys. Please give us money. Do they think that everybody's just going to forget how quick they were to repeat everything Keffals said as fact? I mean, why fact check anything when it makes your side look so righteous, right?
We want to give you a little bit of an update from Clara Sorrenti about this. Says, we won, Kiwi Farms is dead. That was in response to the initial development with Cloudflare. We've talked about this story multiple times on the show, but in case you haven't been following, back on August 5th, Sorrenti was the target of a swatting attack that led to London, Ontario police wrongfully arresting her, repeatedly using her dead name while sticking a rifle in her face. And that was just the beginning of the horrors of this story. Sorrenti and her fiance relocated to a hotel, but members of Kiwi Farms continued stalking and harassing and threatening the life of Sorrenti, driving her from place to place. And
they were fawning over this shit, just like they did with Jesse Smollett. They live in this fantasy world where they drank all of their own Kool-Aid. You know, that's nice and all that you see that you've f***ed up now. You know, when public opinion around this person has shifted and it's all of a sudden economically advantageous to disavow them. Just admit it. Y'all are grifters and will say anything for that delicious funding.
The truth is, I left the country because of my ex and because I was scared of my ex. Because my ex was abusive and abused me emotionally and yelled at me and consistently coerced me into sex. That's why I left, but I couldn't tell anyone.
No one should believe anything she's saying. No one should take what she says at face value. She's a con artist, she is a liar, and I have no idea what her ex was like or how her ex treated her. I'm just saying that because you should be very suspicious of any claim coming out of this woman's mouth.
True, big true, possibly even based. But I'd say the same goes for anyone at your network. Nobody should trust literally anything you guys have to say, as evidenced by this story. You guys don't even do the most bare minimum level of research. You don't even fact check. This with Keffals wasn't well hidden. It was right on the surface for everybody to see, and you promoted it to your audience like it was fact, without the slightest hint of telling your audience that it hasn't been confirmed, or that it's anything other than an absolute fact.
Listen, I feel sick to my stomach knowing that I amplified a con artist on the show. Obviously, I did not know she was a con artist. I did not do that on purpose. But at the end of the day, I'm the host and I am responsible for what I say on this program. I'm sure some of our viewers unfortunately donated money to her out of the kindness of their hearts because they thought they were helping her. And so these are the kinds of stories that keep me up at night because, as I've said before on this show, I feel that I have a responsibility to the audience. And if I ever make a mistake, as I did with this story, I am going to take the time to correct it and take full responsibility for it. But I would also say that for all the other mainstream media outlets who fell for this con artist, that includes The Guardian, CNN, NBC News, NPR. Can we get a correction from you guys too? Because they seem to never want to revisit the work they've done and the misreporting they've engaged in. The fact that they were conned by a con artist like Keffals.
And you almost had what seemed like a halfway decent apology at the end of that. Only for you to f it all up by being like, oh, well, we aren't a real news organization. Look at them. Look how they messed up and misreported this to you guys. Anna, girl, hello, Earth to Anna. You are literally that. You're trying to creatively talk around the fact that you guys did literally no research before running this story as a fact. You guys love to talk about how big you are and how you compete with mainstream news. Tell both of you guys f up. Now you just want to act like you're some little news channel with no obligation to check the facts that you're spewing. Acting like you only messed up because the mainstream news misled you. Way to take responsibility, Anna.